Welcome back, my good friend. Thank you for stopping by today. And today episode, we're gonna learn something very amazing by one of my favorite enlightened saints. And this holy teaching is come from Nang Hai Gu Pho Bodhisattva Kwan. So let's learn together. As we learn this holy teaching, the main goal is to apply in our daily life. So let's not waste any moment. Buddha Nang Hai Gu Pho said, "You are right, I am wrong. Thus, when handling matters, there is less argument and conflict." Nang Hai Gu Pho, the Enlightened Saint, taught us we need to have this mentality that other are right, you are right, and I am wrong. Thus, when handling matter, there's less argument and conflict. We always want less argument and less conflict. But what is our word and action? When we are in school or at work or in public with our loved one, with our friend, what is our mentality? We always want the person to be right and the other are wrong. For us, to be right is very important. For us to be right, that means we know a lot of things. We are very confident. But what is the most important thing? To be right or to be harmonious? To be right or to have less argument and less conflict in life? Would you like your life that when you work with others has no conflict, no argument? That's an ideal life. But because our ego, but because we know too much. Imagine a word or event happen in life. You come to the other person and said, "You are right and I am wrong." What would you think the workplace or your house, what do you think that environment would be like? Heaven on earth, right? Everyone wants to be right, but who would be the wrong one? What is Jesus taught us? The one who is the lowest on earth is the highest in the kingdom of heaven. But for us, we have so much ego. It is so hard. We always want to be right. What if the other person is wrong and we are actually the right person? Do we have the courage to let go of our ego, to diminish this high expectation, this so-called I am right, this strong mentality? And how many times has the strong mentality has harmed us, has separated us from loved one? Again, the bottom line is, do you want to live a life without conflict, without argument? If that is the direction we can learn to practice, it doesn't matter. You are right. What if you don't believe that the other person is right? What if you believe that the other person is actually doing the wrong thing? He set the house on fire, right? So there's a lot of blaming. How can we see the positive side? Yes, you're right. You're right. I should have been more cautious. I should have paid more attention. I should be more alert instead of saying, You're always wrong. You're the one that caused harm. You're the one that set this house on fire. What about us? That's why Jesus also said, he who is without sin cast the first stone. Let's go to the next one. Kwan Yin Pusa said, you are great and I am small. Thus, when working together, can blend harmoniously. Buddha taught us, you are great and I am small. Thus, when working together, we can blend harmoniously. Review our life. Is our life harmonious? When we work with others, is that workplace harmonious and peaceful? When we come home, is our home harmonious and peaceful? If you said you want a harmonious life, would you like to practice this? You are great and I am small. Thus, when working together, we can blend harmoniously. I recognize that when I am at work, it is very easy to be very cocky and said, I'm the best one. I'm the most successful one. I did that. I accomplished this. Look at how many achievements I have. Look at how great I am. Whenever we pick ourselves or we push ourselves higher, upper, that means that we separate ourselves from others. We think we are so great, so we have that arrogance that we look down on others. What do you think about life where we encourage each other, where we help each other up to see other has the potential? If we are so great, can we assist other to be also great like that? What is a great leader? Is a great leader so great that all of his nobody follow him? What if you come to a workplace and you see everyone and you encourage them? My good friend, today I learned from you. You are very diligent. And this person over here, oh my goodness, the way you work with this machine or the way that you do this type of work, I need to learn from that. Or you did much faster than I am. Oh, you're great. I need to learn from that. Oh, you're very creative. I haven't thought of that. Imagine what kind of workplace we are, the people around us. Why, when we come home, our house is so chaotic, it's so disharmony, and we are suffer by it. Remember, there's a saying, home sweet home, but every time we come home, it's home suffering home. Where is that coming from? The lack of harmony. Would you like to have harmony to your relationship, to your workplace, to your school, to everywhere you go, you bring harmony? Then practice. You are great. We look at the positive side of other. And I am small. We diminish our self-centeredness. We diminish our ego. When we do that, we let go of ourselves and we respect other. We learn to recognize other. We learn to assist other. When we are able to recognize the greatness in other people also respect us and see the greatness in us. Therefore, when we're working together, there's no such thing as conflict. There is harmonious. Number 3, Kwan Yin Pusa taught us, you have and I lack. Thus, when encountering situation, greed and wildness can be diminished. Buddha taught us that you have and I lack. Most of the time, we want a lot for ourselves. We always boast how great we are, how much we have. Again, this look down on other. And Buddha taught us, you have and I lack. Whenever we see that someone has something better than us, they have more than us, we are grateful, we appreciate, we are grateful that at least they have something. When we see someone who are better, oh, they have good quality, there's something I can learn. When we see someone who sleeps so well and we cannot sleep at night, or someone who better and we are jealous, learn to be grateful. Because whenever we do that, Buddha taught us, greed and wildness can be diminished. Would you like to diminish greed and wildness? First, we need to recognize the danger of greed and wildness. Buddha Sakyamuni, the founder of Buddhism, taught the first of the three poisons is greed. There's greed, anger, hatred, and ignorance. Greed is very dangerous because whenever we are overtaken by greed, it will take us to all sorts of suffering because we sacrifice a lot of things. We harm a lot of things to get whatever we want. The greed is unstoppable. The greed is unsatisfiable. So we keep on chasing one after another. We don't care how much we harm. Therefore, whenever we create suffering result, our life will be suffering. And the greed is endless. For example, we want our life to be hopeful. We want our life to be light and bright and happy. But whenever we continue to have this greed and keep on adding and adding, imagine a heavy elephant. How can it be flying, right? How can it be light? You're always going to have this burden, this heaviness. Nothing will satisfy you. The other part, Buddha Kwan Yin taught us the wildness. That's the wildness imagining of our mind can be diminished if we learn to recognize that other they have. For us, it's okay to be lacking, to have less, to be less than other, lacking things. What is the wildness imagining of the mind? Sometimes we have this wishful thinking. Like, for example, I have this wild imagining to be successful, to be a millionaire, to be a billionaire. So I do a lot of risk taking. Every money I have, I keep throwing it away, invest in this, invest in that, have all kind of imagination. I want to have a successful family. I want to have a successful career. I want so many things. So I put in so many effort. I put in so much money. Throw away money and effort. Throwing away all of these things. Well, you said, well, what's wrong with investing? What's wrong with throwing all this effort? What I'm trying to share with you is I have such fantasy. I have such imagination that is unrealistic to be a millionaire or billionaire, but I'm not capable. I don't have that affinity. I want to have a successful career and a holy family, but I fail to accept other the way they are, where they're coming from. That can be suffering. I don't have capacity to be famous, to invest, but I take something that I don't have. That's called the wildness of the mind, the wild imagining of the mind, without fail to recognize what is my reality. What do I need to do? What is my priority? Buddha taught us if we begin to recognize, to appreciate that we're lacking, and to recognize that others have, it is okay when we eat together. It is okay. You can have more and I can have less. It is okay. I am grateful that you have a bed and a beautiful house. Even though I don't have much, but I appreciate our relationship, our friendship. I am so happy for you to have so many things in life. Although I don't have much, but I am happy for you. What do you think of that kind of life? What do you think about your mentality? That's why Buddha said greed and the wildness can be diminished, because those things can cause us harm. Let's go to the fourth one. Buddha taught us, you are joyful and I am suffering. Thus, while in this life we can mutually complete and smoothly achieve together. You are joyful and I am suffering. That is the complete opposite of today's world. Everyone chasing for happiness. I don't care what's wrong with you. Your life had nothing to do with me. I only care about my happiness. What's wrong with that? I only have one life to live. If I don't live for myself, who would I live for? So a lot of people, they do whatever it takes to have happiness. But when you look in this world, how many people are truly happy? You review your life. You have done so much. You have tired this heart and this mind and this body. You want to be happy and you do everything it takes to be happy. Are you happy now? Are you okay being suffering and see other happy? Sometimes that is hard to swallow. But imagine the world where we appreciate and recognize in other. To recognize they are joyful, create opportunity for them to be joyful, create pathway for them to be joyful, appreciate them so that they can be happy, take the blame from them so that they can have happiness. What kind of life is that? That's the life that Jesus taught us. The disciple asked Jesus, when you're gone, who would be our teacher? What should we do? If you return back to the Father, what should we do? Then that you have heard of the Last Supper, before Jesus crucified, he washed the disciples' feet. He said, if you want to be like me, if you want to remember me, if you want to learn from me, you need to wash each other's feet. What does that mean? To lower oneself, to learn how to bear the suffering. Is Jesus bear the suffering for us? What is all the enlightened saints? If you look at their life, they set such a beautiful example for us. And how many thousand years later, over 2,500 years later, we still study their teaching. We still learn from them. They had created so much impact, positive impact, influence for the world. We all want to be influencer, but we create so much suffering for others at the cost of our happiness. Do you want to have this achievement in the end, but no one to celebrate with you? Would you like to return to heaven and nobody is there with you but yourself? What is the Enlightened Saint taught us? To be achieved together, to assist other to reach the other shore. Jesus said to assist other to reach the kingdom of heaven. Is that what Jesus' example is? He sacrificed for us. So what does that mean? He bear the suffering so that we can be joyful. But what do we do? To learn from Jesus' footstep, we destroy other. We cause suffering to other at the cost of our joyfulness, our happiness. What is Buddha Sakyamuni, the founder of Buddhism, said? He guided them to the other shore, nirvana. So Buddhahood is not up to us. When we reach the end of this life, it is not up to us, but how much have we sacrificed for other? How much have we assist other to reach Buddhahood? Then perhaps that will determine our attainment, our achievement. So Buddha Kwan said, "You are joyful, I am suffering. Thus, while in this life we can mutually complete and smoothly achieve together." Mutually complete. You want to mutually working together and completing each other, assist each other, achieve together. Thus, we have to diminish, to lower ourselves, to let go of this self-centeredness and this ego. Would we all want to learn together? So again, this holy teaching by Nang Hai Gu Pho is not for us to learn information, but for us to apply. So tomorrow when you go to work, or when you arrive home, or when you go to your studio, or when you go to school, or when you go to see your loved one, your friend, your enemies, you interact with other, you interact with the world. Can you say this? You are right, I am wrong. You are great and I am small. You have, I lack. You are very joyful. I am suffering, but it is okay. In the end, it doesn't matter how happy you are, how much you have achieved. Remember, if other achieve, imagine if you put other the highest and you're the lowest, what will happen for you in the end? You will be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope that we can learn together and grow together. Thank you so much for your time and have a good evening.